What you want, when you want it, where you want it. This is The Mesh.
Barbecue summer is here. Whether you're at home or going to the beach, lake, mountains, or city, be sure to support your local barbecue businesses. From the butcher shops to the pit masters and food trucks, pop-ups, and neighborhood joints, for dine-in or catering, Carolina Barbecue Festival reminds you to visit your locally owned businesses for barbecue summer. Visit CarolinaBBQFest.org for a list of local pit masters that'll get you started. And while you're at CarolinaBBQFest.org, be sure to sign up and stay connected. You'll get all the latest details on upcoming events and coming soon, official dates for the 2027 Carolina Barbecue Festival. Until then, be sure to enjoy barbecue summer with your locally owned barbecue businesses. And as small towns across the South host barbecue competitions sanctioned by Kansas City Barbecue Society, Southern Barbecue Network, plenty others, a lot of competitive pitmasters may not be local to the downtown districts where they're firing up the smoker for the weekend, but the economic impact they bring sure can be positive to their community host. Today's guest is one of those pitmasters working hard on the competition circuit, probably off it as well. But his first ever stop in Uptown Greenwood was especially fruitful. That's because Cody Turner is the grand champion of the 2026 South Carolina Festival of Discovery. With the victory, he qualifies to compete in the Barbecue World Cup in Las Vegas and a chance to win $1 million. Cody, welcome to the Low and Slow Barbecue Show. Congratulations on the victory right out of the gate. What were you thinking when you heard the Cocamoke call on Saturday afternoon?
Oh, man. First off, appreciate you having me on here. Dude, it really was just a crazy moment, man. We work real hard out there trying to, do our best week in, week out, and just to kind of see it all come together right there with all my buddies out there. It's really amazing feeling, man. It really was.
So you're qualified now for the Barbecue World Cup. Was that in your thinking at all when you signed up to get on with the festival this year?
Yeah, it was. So there's so many qualifiers out there, and we kind of based our schedule off of that.
Mm-hmm.
Off the qualifiers, and South of Festival of Discovery was kind of our last shot, man. To be honest, it was the last hope to get in there, and we made sure we signed up early. They kind of got like a seniority system there, so some of the past contestants get like a grace period before they sign up. So you kind of with these qualifiers, you got to be on the ball, ready to sign up, ready to pay everything, and luckily we got in. So.
Now, have you started thinking about the Barbecue World Cup yet? What you might do? Or I know it's April 2027, a little bit off, but you go ahead and start kind of thinking about those things?
Absolutely, man. I've been thinking about it all day and every day since it happened. I've been messaging folks that are associated with the World Cup, and just picking their brain, asking them what they know about the event, because there's really not a lot of information out there right now. Mm-hmm. I haven't found any anyway. I've been trying to get a plan together. We've still got a pretty busy season, man. We've got some other events coming up, but that's for sure the number. Those are all practice cooks now, and we're all gearing everything towards that World Cup.
Yeah, and you talk about the practice cooks and think about the results from each one of those and the results from Festival of Discovery. I know you guys kind of get some notes and some scoring information, feedback. How much does that play into how you evolve your game as you work toward the World Cup?
I mean, it plays a lot. I mean, really, that's what we use to adjust our cooks and everything from week in, week out. we use that information. You know, everybody takes. I mean, I know myself personally. I can't speak for anybody else. You know, I'm taking notes after every contest. You know, very seldom do you get comment cards from judges, but you know, you do have access. There is access to, you know, once you know, you compete on the circuit, you get to know some of these judges. So you get to talk and you get to ask questions and stuff like that. And obviously, you've got so many pit masters, seasoned pit masters out there that you can talk to as well and pick up information too. So, yeah, I mean, that's what we try and do, pick up from that.
Keep learning and improving all along as you go. Now, I want to talk about the cook itself from the Festival of Discovery. Before we get to that, apart from the results, which were fantastic, right? First place in brisket, overall championship, a couple of other top tens. How was your overall festival experience for the first time in Greenwood?
Man, it was really awesome, dude. You know, even though we were in the back, we were like the last people to park. Julie and her team did an excellent job. They put us. We were in the back. You know, like I was saying, they had that seniority system. We were at the very back, man. It was like 5 minute turn in, which is okay. You know, we're prepared for that. We try and adjust to that. But the festival itself, you know, we had all these vendors and so many people in and out. You know, curious people asking about your process, your cook setup, and your cookers and all that. That's really awesome, man. I mean, really, that's why a lot of us do it, is to, you know, be involved in stuff like that. And on top of that, you're with your buddies, you know, your cooking buddies, you know, the camaraderie, you know, all those guys and girls, you know, they're all awesome. They're all really good people, willing to lend a hand. But the whole overall festival was awesome, man. Everybody was complaining about it being hot, you know, with the Pensacola, Florida. Man, I slept with my door open and my AC off, man. That's how good it felt to me. But
Yeah.
everybody else was, you know, complaining.
Well, and the
about it.
heat comes with the territory around the pits and the fires, and obviously with Uptown Greenwood. Okay, so take us through the cook. When did you first get the fire started? Did you come in and participate Friday, or did you just focus on Saturday?
We focused on Saturday. Everything went according to plan. It was probably about 11:30. I knew everything was going smooth. At 11:30, I said, man, something's going to happen. Something's not right. And I realized I didn't have a lighter. You know, leave it to me to be the only pit master that didn't bring a lighter or any propane gas. You know, every propane bottle I reached for was empty. Luckily, those good folks I was telling you about, they had some spares, and I borrowed some from, I think it was Willingham. But yeah, we light our pits at 4:00 in the morning. Let it
on
roll
Saturday, right?
Yes, sir. 4:00 on Saturday. Let it roll for about an hour. Just kind of get up to temp. No rushing or anything like that. We've rushed before, but everything went pretty smooth that day.
Well, take us through.
That's just on one pit. You know, we cook on 3 different pits. But.
Tell us a little bit about that. What are you cooking on, and what does that operation look like?
So the 4:00 light up, that's going to be on that. We cook on a Old Hickory ASMM comp series. It's a cabinet smoker. We cook our pork and brisket on that. So that's your earlier cooks, and then we use a gateway drum. We kind of swap that. We also have a Ringo too, drum. We swap them in and out, just depending on, and then a Hunsaker. So the gateway and the Ringo we use for our rib cook, and then the Hunsaker we use for chicken. So.
Gotcha. And what's the fuel for your fire there?
So I'm all over the place, dude. And, you know, I'm a big B&B charcoal fan, but I also like Blues Hog mock charcoal too. So in my for my brisket and pork, I run B&B oak Texas style, and then on my drums, I run the Blues Hog lump for my chicken and ribs. So it's just I like the flavor, on both of them. I like the flavor I get with each one. Um, I'm a big fan of both of those.
Okay, so apart from the fuel and what you're cooking on, take us a little bit through the prep and your cooking and your turn-in timeline on a Saturday once the fires are going.
Yeah, so like I said, we start our fire at 4. Usually the meats will go on at 5. Our bigger meat, and then our smaller meats are later on in the day. I think our chicken goes on at 10, and ribs probably going around 8 o'clock in the morning. And all of those we're gonna have like an hour warm up time on those smokers. We'll light them an hour prior to, and yeah, I mean, get it seasoned, put it on. Our turn, the KCBS turn in is pretty much the same. 12 o'clock chicken, 12:30 ribs, 1 o'clock pork, and 1:30 brisket. I think I said that right. But yeah, it's pretty much the same. Every now and again, you'll have a different turn-in time on, depending on what's going on with whatever festival you're at. I've had them where they've been 30 minutes earlier on everything, and that really throws you off. But this cooks pretty standard, Yeah, I mean.
Okay, so any kind of favorite rub seasonings? Now I know you guys probably have a lot of secrets on what you're using where, but anything that you like in particular, and how long you ordinarily letting that dry brine or marinate happen before you put it to the grill or the smoker?
Yeah, so okay, so we inject everything. We inject our brisket. That's usually the night before. As far as preparation. Some people prep prior in the week, throughout the week, and then bring everything to the contest. Here recently, I've been just minus trimming the meat. I'll trim the meat prior to coming to the event, and then everything else I do on site, and that makes up my injections, my sauces, and prep my rubs, whatever they are. My favorite rubs, man, I really like Blues Hog Sweet and Savory. I like the Bold and Beefy. Those are my 2 most used rubs. And another one that I really like is it used to be Flaps 20 CPR rub, but now it's Bama Barbecue Supply CPR rub. And man, those are some jam up rubs, good products. Sauces are all going to usually run around. They're going to be Blues Hog and some mixtures with some other things, some of your glazes and stuff like that, right?
And I know that has a big role in flavor and appearance. So some of that's the secret sauce, right?
Oh, absolutely. It's just how you mix it together, man. Recommend putting in a little bit of Blues Hog and everything, Blues Hog original.
Yeah.
That's kind of a funny thing everybody says, first place and last place has Blues Hog in it. So
that's funny.
I mean, it's true. Everybody uses Blues Hog original. It's such a good sauce. But, really it's about balancing those flavors, It's, not getting too crazy with one or the other. It's just about balancing everything out and making a good, solid sauce, right?
Yeah.
Has everything you're looking for, sweet, savory, and a little bit of heat on the back end.
Yeah. So you've got it all done. You've been through your process. You've factored in that 5-minute walk to the turn in. Sometimes it can be run. I know on this particular occasion, there was a thunderstorm right in the middle of the turn in. But once you were taking everything to the station, how did you feel? Did you feel like you'd had the heat? This is going to be the one we did really well, or are you kind of uncertain?
Absolutely not. It was terrible, man. We were behind. We were behind on everything. We had a big discussion. Me and the rest of the team, which is my wife, Heather Kate, and my mom, Terry. Uh, we had a big discussion. We were like, "Hey, look, got a long turn in, long walk. We want to make sure that we're getting that chicken out early."
Mm-hmm.
And ultimately, that's on me to get it out early. Well, I was behind, and I had to sprint that guy up there. And then I came back. I had to sprint back. People don't realize when you're sprinting back, they're like, "Oh, you're fine." I'm like, I got to get back.
Yeah. And when you get back in there sucking wind too.
Yeah, and you got to repeat the same process. And
Right.
so ribs came up, and then that's when it started to pour down. And yeah, I mean, I had water. I was drenched from head to toe. I mean, and I was pretty sure that box was filling up with water too. I thought it was. In my mind, it was.
Yeah.
And then not many people saw it, but I did see a few folks chuckling in the back because I got to that tent. They had some tent.
Uh-huh.
And I turned in my box. And you know how to collect water at the top? Well, it just gave way right when I was there, and it
Oh
just
no.
drenched me. So, it's kind of hard. I mean, don't get me wrong, man. We stayed positive.
Yeah.
But when you got stuff like that going on, you got some bad thoughts going on in your head, But we pulled together, came back, did port, and then we ended up walking brisket up there. Felt good about our turn-ins, and that's all you can ask for, I don't know too many people, every night, but something's gonna go wrong. Yeah, for my team, something's definitely gonna go wrong. And that's what it's all about, man. Is figuring it out and rising above it. I mean, really.
Yeah, and this year you guys rose above all the other folks in the competition for that grand championship. I want to take kind of a step back now here first, Cody. We're probably connecting with you in one of the most unusual interview locations of the history of the podcast. So why don't you just let folks know where you are, where you're calling in from, and maybe give us a history of what is Cocamoke Smoke and how did it get started?
So I'm not going to disclose the company, but I am out in the Gulf of America in a block called Mississippi Canyon 736 on a production facility. I work offshore as an I&E technician. And that's currently where I am. I work a 14 to 14 rotation.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever I'm not doing this, I'm usually trying to hunt down some barbecue competition somewhere at the house if my wife allows me to do so. As far as Cocamoke Smoke, that you asked how I got the name. Is that what you mean?
Yeah. Well, how did you get started? And definitely part of the story's got to be where did the name come from?
Yeah. So really, Cocamoke Smoke, we got started in 2021. The idea was really to start catering and doing pop-ups. And around that same time, we were kind of we were all on that Malcolm Reed train, man. Watching him, doing competition stuff, and we just kind of took that and it piqued our interest, and so I guess it was around 2021 of July. We did a little contest in Huntsville, Alabama. It was a backyard event. We got online, signed up for KCBS, and found this event just to kind of see if we wanted to compete.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of folks have these similar stories, but so we signed up for Reeling and Smoking at Ditto Landing in Huntsville.
Mm-hmm.
And we went on RV Share and rented a camper. I'd never even pulled a camper, didn't know nothing about campers, but man, we were going. I grabbed my Gateway drum and an old Weber kettle, and rolled up there. And I mean, it was another one of those. It poured down rain, soaking wet.
Yeah.
But man, I loved it, and we didn't suck. We were middle of the pack. We didn't win anything. We even did a popcorn ancillary that was, didn't do too well, but it was. I mean, we got the hook in us to, we decided that we wanted to, if we were going to do it, we're going to do it right. So pulled back the next year. I guess it was around March, and we signed up for Barbecue Blues, and I bought a trailer, and then I jumped in, dude.
Yeah. So final question, going to close like we like to close every time. Again, a lot of work, a lot of effort goes into it, a lot of enjoyment, but what keeps your fire burning? At the end of the day, why do you keep doing it?
Man, like I said, I'm really competitive, and I'm a troubleshooter. I'm a mining technician offshore, man. I like fixing things. Really, to me, cooking is one big troubleshoot, man. You got so many different factors in there that you're trying to figure out, trying to tweak. You got the meat, you've got your pit, you've got your fire. You've got all these different elements that you're trying to troubleshoot and to get a good result at the end of the day. And I think that's really what just what drives me. I really like doing that kind of stuff. Like I said, the competitive side of things, I like, I always consider myself an underdog. I probably always will, I like the fact, especially KCBS, I like being able to go out there. I don't know too many other, hobbies or sports, if you want to call it. You can go out there and you can play with, your top pit masters, that's what I like, the fact that I can go out there and I can compete with your Brad Linekers, your Tim Shears, your Jordan Kirkpatricks, those guys, and have a chance at, getting the best of them, I'm sure they feel the same, That's why I do it, I believe that's why a lot of us do it. It's fun, you get a little bit of bragging rights, and, you know what I mean? All that good stuff.
And that, my friends, is a final word from Cody Turner, pitmaster for Cocamoke Smoke Barbecue based in Pensacola, Florida. Cody, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank y'all for having me.
The local barbecue summer season is sponsored by Carolina Barbecue Festival. Whether you head to the beach, the lake, the mountains, or the city, be sure to visit your local barbecue businesses this summer. Go to CarolinaBBQFest.org for a list of local pitmasters who will help you get started today. While you're there, sign up to stay connected. You'll be the first to know the dates for the 2027 Carolina Barbecue Festival. And of course, you can find more local barbecue people at our website. Folks just like Cody Turner, LowSlowBBQShow.com. We got a whole library of podcasts, more than 100, many of them with local pitmasters telling their stories. Give them a listen, then make plans to visit their business this summer. You'll also find our blog, barbecue news, festival event details, and at lowslowbbqshow.com, sign up for our weekly newsletter. We'll deliver the latest Carolina barbecue news to your email inbox. To our audience, thank you for listening to the Low and Slow Barbecue Show. If you like what you hear, share our podcast with your food-loving friends. Please subscribe and give us a 5-star rating on your favorite stream. The Low and Slow Barbecue Show is part of the Mesh.tv network of podcasts. That's where Andrew Moose is the producer of our podcast and others on the Mesh network. Visit the Mesh.tv for the full catalog of shows. That's where you always find the Low and Slow Barbecue Show, where I'm your host, Chigger Willard, reminding you that for the best barbecue and the best barbecue podcast, make it low and slow.
You've been listening to The Mesh, an online media network of shows and programs ranging from business to arts, sports to entertainment, music to community. All programs are available on the website as well as through iTunes and YouTube. Check us out online at themesh.tv. Discover other network shows and give us feedback on what you just heard.